We are here with writer-director Meagan Coyle, and she has a brand new short coming out, premiering at Sundance in the Midnight Short section, and it's called Prime, and it's going to be premiering January 25th. Megan, how are you?
Amazing. How are you? You just
I'm
said it. My
well.
film's going to be at Sundance. How do you think I feel?
I mean, right? That's
It's crazy.
that's it's not a bad thing.
It's
Um,
not a bad thing.
what? Okay, without giving too much away, can you tell us about the short?
Um, the log line is a trauma victim travels to a utopian farming community only to find out she's bitten off more than she can chew.
Like, indeed. Um,
I know it's
so
hard to not give too much stuff away, so I'll try my best not to.
yeah. Well, listen, it packs a lot into 16 minutes, so it's a really good film.
Thank
Um,
you.
what was the initial spark for it, and how did this kind of develop into a short film?
So, I started off as a makeup artist. I still do makeup because that's how I pay for my short film. Um, and I was on a set one time where it just so happened most of the people were vegetarian and there were like very few meat eaters. And someone kind of passed me a meal and was like, "Oh, is this your meat meal?" And I got like really weirdly defensive about it and was kind of like, yes, but I hardly ever, just a couple times a week and I really just need the protein and like da 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 and I was just sort of like afterwards like what was that about? Like and I've always been interested in kind of cults and kind of darker stuff. So it was kind of like and I was driving through upstate New York and kind of like farmlands and stuff like that and kind of one thing led to another and then we had Prime.
Well, I was like wondering, I was like, did she escape a cult or something?
No, I'm trying to get in one.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, so uh Prime, like I said, is screening the midnight section. What about
Which is
this?
awesome.
I know, midnight. It's so
Especially the Midnights. Yeah, I'm dying to see the other shorts too. I'm psyched. It's going to be awesome.
yeah. That was another question. First of all, it fits in so well with midnight. But what are the other shorts you're super psyched to see?
One of them is called Homemade Gatorade. That I want to know what that's about. And what's the other? The Worm. But
Hmm.
pretty much like the most I've looked at it are the stuff in the Midnight short. So I'm really excited to see what they've cooked up. And then a friend of mine, an actress that I worked with, Malin Barr, has a short in another. I don't remember which program it's in, but it's called Sauna Sickness, and it's
Oh
really
yeah, yeah. I want to
beautiful.
see that one too.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks cool, and so I really want to see that one too. I love
but
a short.
I'm really excited to see what the reaction is to Prime because it's
Me
such a
too.
what's interesting about it is it's a nice slow burn, you know, but you tell quite a bit of story in the 16 minutes. So what was the biggest challenge in trying to pack so much story into a short time?
Um, well, one luxury I had is that I had as much time in the world. It's a passion project, right? Like,
Right, right.
so everything is on my time. So I had all the time in the world to write it and rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it. And, I opened up my old computer. This was so long ago. I opened up my old computer that has all the drafts, and there's probably like 50 or 60 drafts on there. Where it's like
Gosh.
some of them I was opening up and it's just the first scene where I was just like, oh, no, I have to start another one. Like, and also thinking about the goal of what I want the short to do. And with short film programming, the shorter the better because they can kind of fit more in. So even though I had so many ideas, I had to kind of edit myself and, say goodbye to a lot of things that were like kind of just like cool shit, but they didn't, put the story forward or shots that were beautiful and kind of just being really brutal to try to, if it wasn't serving the story, like it's got to go. But
Yeah.
also, I would say the trickiest thing is like this is a short that needs to breathe. And like finding those spots to put the breaths in while still kind of like jamming it home of like what's going on. I also
Yeah.
think that audiences are really smart and can kind of, you don't have to give so much exposition or so much stuff. People can kind of put the things together. And also with a short, like you don't have as many rules. You can kind of do whatever and you have a little bit more leeway because it's a short, and people are kind of expecting it to be whatever story you can tell in a certain amount of time. So I
Hmm.
think that that helps if you're gearing up to watch a short, maybe you're not expecting everything to be as fleshed out, so to speak.
Mm. Yeah, like I did notice that it was like there were quite a bit of quiet moments, and in particular, I wanted to make sure to talk about how rich the film looked. I mean,
Oh,
it looks beautiful. Like, the cinematography by Joshua Echevarria, right?
Echibari, yeah, I mean, he's a beast.
And the
He's
sound
amazing.
designer, Ben,
Ben,
like
yeah, Ben Chesno, my team is insane.
but those two in particular were like, oh, this is good. Like there was a really rich sound to it. How'd you get to that? Like how'd you work on that?
Well, what's funny is I've worked with both of them before in the capacity of being a makeup artist.
Okay.
So I first met Josh on a short film maybe like 2020 or 2021. And I mean, the first thing I saw on monitor, I was just like, who's this guy? Like, this is
Hmm.
amazing. He's wildly talented. And I've worked with him several times since. Um, and we worked on each other's projects. Like, he helped me with Prime, and like, I've helped him do some kind of prosthetic makeup for like some music videos. And I just have a blast with him. He's got such a crazy eye and wildly talented, and we were kind of on the same page. He also has a great sense of humor, so like he's really fun to make laugh, and that's great. And then Ben, I've worked with, he was doing sound on set before, and he's also like crazy talented. And one of the most fun parts of post-production was being in a sound studio and kind of, oh, like actually I want this to be like, three beats back or whatever the thing is, and like doing a sound. And we had lots of conversations beforehand, and I was just like, oh, like that sound, like what is that? Because I told him I wanted like rabbits screaming, and then how he ended up using, if you've ever heard a rabbit scream, it's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad. And he used those things in such crazy ways. He's wild. He's amazing.
I really enjoyed how he created space in certain scenes with the birds tweeting, in the distance or things like that. But then, when they were working in the ground, you could hear the roots pulling. It was just like, okay, this guy knows. He knows what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. There were a
Um,
lot of a lot of birds, a lot of chickadees and stuff like that. Where I mean that kind of stuff was so fun because at that point you have the picture, it's edited. The editing is like the most difficult things. You're really figuring it out.
yeah.
But when you're doing the sound, it's sort of playtime, and you really realize like what sound can do to like create the world, and this
Hmm.
world building where it's just like it can really bring you there. And I'm
Yes.
so excited to see it at Sundance because those speakers in a theater,
Uh,
I haven't
it's gonna
seen
be
it in a theater yet. I'm
the
dying.
sound shows you what's not on screen, you know,
Yeah.
and you guys, great job.
Yeah. It was
And
funny too because it was like, passion project, so low budget. And we had like three studio sessions that are like, it's expensive, and we were getting friend rates. We were working after hours, like when the
yeah,
place is closed, and all this stuff. And after the first day, I was like, I'm gonna need another day. I'll pay anything. You get like really into it. And it's just like I can eat pasta for another week. That's all
listen,
right.
pasta's good.
It's
Cup of
good.
noodles rocks.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, real quick, I only have a little bit of time left, but how
Oh
did
my
kind of working on Prime shape the way you looked at film and and how your next project is going to be?
Oh, well, I'm hoping, the dream is to make Prime into a feature, inspired by the short, because I do think that that world is rife for possibilities to expand
100%.
on, and there are so many different directions it could go when you kind of get into this group and what's going on with them. Um, what else did you ask? How is it
Just
shaped
how is
me?
that? Sorry, I was trying to pack so much in. No, how is it shaping maybe your next project? What you learned?
Oh, well, I think. Coming from the makeup artist world, and also the low budget world where it's just like, what can we do well?
Hmm.
And there were a couple days on set where we actually wrapped early. And I was like, what didn't we do? I'm like, that's great, but like what didn't we do with the
Yeah,
time
what'd
that
we
we
miss?
had?
You know.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think the next one going in, I'll be just more confident as a director to kind of like I would say to like push for things or something like that, but I feel like that happened on this one. Like I felt pretty comfortable with talent, and hopefully they say the same, and just sort of creating a world where people felt comfortable to kind of play, and trying to write a script where there's not so many questions, but I'm there for the questions, and casting people who I think can execute it. So I think hopefully on the next one we have more money so we can do bigger things.
More money's always good, but it's not always the answer. It's
It's
not
not
always
always
the
the answer,
so
but I'd love to set something on fire. And you just need money for that.
oh, me too. Okay, so everybody, this was Megan Coyle, a writer director of Prime, and her short premieres January 25th, 11:55 p.m. at the Ray Theater at Sundance. Make sure to check it out. Megan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Norm. This was awesome. Thank
All right,
you.
bye.